book journal night. I am just pulling this up on my laptop here so I can see the chat. Hope you all are doing well. I am very excited to get into book journaling tonight because it is the first month in my new book journal, and I'm so excited about it. I'm going to apologize. My table is extremely shaky, so if my table is very shaky, I do apologize. But let's get into what we're going to do tonight. So we are going to be chatting about the 2 book club books. So our main book club book for January is the Thursday Murder Club. And then the optional one from the Advent calendar was the Midnight Library. We're going to chat about both. I did read both, so you'll have to let me know if you guys read either of the books and which ones you read. And then I brought a bunch of January stuff so that I can fill up my January book journaling. So we have, these are new dashboards for A5. So we have them for like our full, like normal standard vertical size planners. They're 2 stickers because they're big, but these are just like smaller ones, and they're perfect for bullet journaling and stuff like that. But I'm going to use it to divide the different months in my planner to kind of differentiate a lot more. So I'm going to do those. And then I have, these are the new scripts for the monthly reads, and I'm going to be using these ones. And then the stuff for January that I took out was the reading stats, the reading favorites, the reading icons, because I'm going to be using these books here. And then I have 2 pages of the deco, the journaling kit, the washi strips, and then I have 2 pages of the book, the audiobook ones. And the reason is because the only physical books I read this month are the book club books, and I did not do much more other than audiobooks. So I had a really bad reading month, just to keep that up. Super bad. So hope you all are doing well. I'm so happy you guys are coming in. I'm so glad that you have the different months. That is so smart. I love this new script too. Like, I think this one is so fun, and I'm loving these dashboards. I think they're going to be so fun. I'm already excited to use them in my other planner. Hello, everybody. Heated Rivalry to be February book club read. Unfortunately, I can't do it for February because January, February, and March are already picked because we do the book club kits every 3 months. So that one can't be February, but it is a good idea to have, like, in the future. I don't know how much people are going to want it because our next ones are April, May, and June. So I don't know how much people are going to want, because that's like a hockey one, right? I don't know if people are going to want that later on. Hi, everybody. So happy you guys are here. So let's jump into it. I think I'm going to start with my dashboard, and I'm kind of deciding if I want to put like some like washi strips around the outside to start off with. So let me know if you guys read our book club book for this month. This month, the main book is the Thursday Murder Club, and the optional second book is the Midnight Library. You have to let me know if you read either of them, if you read both. I read both. I'm very proud of myself. I didn't know I would read them, and I physically read them both. So I was very proud of myself. Oh, a Canadian author. Okay, well, that's good to know. I'm so glad you guys like these dashboards. I think they are so cute. Let's do maybe some of this brown in there. Okay. And then we'll put this guy down. Okay, so we always start our book clubs with, what did you guys think of the book? What would you give it as a star rating? That's kind of what we start with, to let me know what you guys thought of the book. So we'll start with the Thursday Murder Club. If you read it, what did you give it a star rating? I gave it a 5. I loved it so much. I felt like there were things that I wasn't expecting. There was a lot of twists and turns, so I really, really, really liked it. That's okay if you didn't finish it. I won't spoil the reveals. I'll give a synopsis of the book and we'll chat a little bit about like the characters and stuff like that, I think, but I won't spoil the ending because I know some people haven't finished it, and I know this one is kind of like you will be spoiled. So we won't spoil the ending for you guys. You listened to both. That's awesome. I'm so happy. Okay, I think this is really cute. Usually I start then with my January reads and January stats. I think I'm going to do my January reads first. So let's put some, like a washi strip at the top. I pulled some Ohuhu markers that will kind of match the colors in the kit. So you gave it 2 stars. Okay, you think you would have liked it better if you would have actually read it. That's fair. I didn't listen to the audiobook, so I can't give my opinion on that. I did start watching the movie, though, and I hated the movie. I thought the movie did a terrible job. They changed so many things. Me and my friend were watching it together, and we were literally saying the entire time, like, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. What am I doing here? These. So yeah, that I didn't like the movie. Yeah, the movie is totally different. Don't cheat and watch it. It's not worth it. So I'm curious, Stacy, what you didn't like about it. Like, what was the part? Because I'm just getting kind of into mysteries, so I don't read a lot of them. But I really, really liked it because I loved the characters. I loved the characters so much. That was my favorite part. You're only a little bit into it. You're having a trouble with description. Okay, that's fair. I think it's really, really fun because like I personally love the show Only Murders in the Building, and I think that is very, very, very similar. Like it is older people trying to do current things, not always 100% knowing how to do them, but really, really trying. So I think that's really fun. I definitely gave off like Only Murders in the Building vibe. I already have the second book on hold. I loved it. Oh my goodness. These did not cut well. I don't like that one. Okay, let's do that. So I currently have finished 4 books. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm hoping to finish 5. So I'm going to put down 5. I feel like I can listen to that book by the end of the week. So I'm going to put down 5. I hope I don't have to take it up again. I feel like I always say that, and then I always have to take it up because I don't finish. Oh, I was struggling with these. Okay. Okay, I found there was a lot of characters too. Originally in the beginning, I had a very, very, very hard time because I was confused of who they were talking about a lot of the time. So I 100% understand that. And I was very much in the same boat. And even tonight, I had to kind of like write a little bit of a synopsis and like Google kind of wrote a little synopsis for me just to kind of remember all the different characters' names and stuff like that, because that part I was really, really messing up with. Oh, a male author. Well, that's interesting. I kind of read a mixture of both, so I don't know if I have the same perspective, but that's very interesting. Okay, so let's give a synopsis of what the Thursday Murder Club is about. So it is about 4 residents that live in Peaceful Meadow Retirement Village, which is a retirement community. But it is very, very, very clear that this is like an upper class like living facility. And we follow 4 characters that are named Elizabeth, Joyce, I'm going to butcher this, Ibrahim, and Ron. And they have this little group that they call the Thursday Murder Club, and they get together once a week and they solve cold cases that were always unsolved, and they try and figure them out. Well, lo and behold, there happens to be 2 live murders that happen in the book itself. And one is for the developer, and he is killed. And then there's also who was the other one? There's a person that's trying to buy out a different section of the living facility. I think it's like the cemetery and stuff like that, and he is killed. And so the Thursday Murder Club gets very excited and they start to investigate. But of course, because they don't have access to all of the information, they become friends with a new police officer, and they convince her and her partner to help them with the case. And it's them solving the 2 murders that actually turns into 3. And it's really good. Like, I really liked it. No, don't be sorry you're late. Welcome here. Okay, you want to live there as an old lady. I think so too. The things that they have at this club is so fun. Like, they have all these different clubs. Like, Ibrahim's always talking about all of the different, like, yoga and everything that he's always attending, and I always just think that's so funny. So there's a lot of things to do with this club, and it's very, like, clearly upper class. Okay, so the books that I read this month, I listened to Skipping Christmas, and this is, I started it in December, but I finished it in January. This is the book that the movie Christmas with the Cranks is based on. Now, I'm not going to do a full spread for this book, but I actually only finished Mate in January. Oops, sorry, I shook the table. So I need to put it into there. Then I finished the Thursday Murder Club. Then I finished The Midnight Library. And the book that I'm hoping to finish is Good Spirits. So again, another Christmas movie, but I only got the hold like recently. Okay, Alex, you're 100% correct. I heard there was a jigsaw room and knew I needed to be there. I am a huge puzzler, and that just sounds like bliss, and honestly, in my opinion. I am going to color these later on. I'm just going to kind of move forward with my stats page. Ooh, I'm shaking on. Okay, so let me just kind of read what I wrote here. I don't want to give away who the killers are, but I'll kind of like talk about the characters. So my favorite character was Elizabeth. She is the main girl who kind of runs the show in a sense. Like, she is definitely the one in control. She is just very spunky and very ballsy, and I think she is just honestly so funny. So I really liked her. I also loved Joyce. I loved her perspective from her journal entries. I thought they were really good. I loved that she was a little bit quieter, but yet you could tell like the wheels were definitely turning a lot, where it kind of surprised Elizabeth, I think, because the book does start with the fact that they recruit Joyce. And so I do think that her intelligence really surprised Elizabeth, which I think is really fun. And then what I liked about Joyce was the fact that she like just had her little desserts, and she was always trying to feed everybody and to give everybody, and it actually like worked in her advantage because often people would talk to her because she would offer treats and snacks and stuff like that, and I just thought she was really, really funny. She was kind of like the sneaky quiet one. You also want the Jigsaw room, Kate? That's awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna try and decide what stats I want to do this year. I want to do favorite book for sure. I am not a quote person, so I'm going to leave that. Favorite moment, also not, but I'm going to do added to my TBR because if I read part of a series and I want to read the next one, I can do that. And I also want to do my top 3 books. Maybe we'll do something like this. There we go. So those are Elizabeth and Joyce. And then we have Ibrahim, who is, I would say, more of the nerdier character out of the 4. And he is pretty good with like technology, but he also like loves like fitness and loves stats and loves information and stuff like that. So that's what they use his skills for a lot. How many books I read? Maybe I'll do a divider. Let's see. And then there is Ron. And Ron, my perception of him really changed when I watched the movie. Now, my perception of him from the book was he was more of like, he was the big shot guy when he was younger, and now he's kind of let himself go a little bit. But in the movie, they really portray him as like a very handsome looking older gentleman, and I just feel like that's not how I perceived him at all. Maybe you guys think a little bit differently than me, but that is just something that I was kind of surprised about. So I'm going to do books read, physical books, audiobooks, pages read, time listened. Then we'll do maybe this. Okay, we'll do like this. And maybe like the skates or something. We'll do most read genre. How many 5-star reads? And then longest book and shortest book. Average rating. I don't often buy books. I'll do DNF'd books. And series completed, because that is one of my big goals this year, is to complete series. And yeah, I think that is it. So I'm gonna fill the rest in with like deco and stuff like that. Okay, you just got to his description in the book, and they talk about how you can see him as a big man before in charge, leader of a union. Yeah, see, and I feel like he really was like a big, like hotshot guy, and now he's kind of like not so much anymore. That's kind of how I perceived him. And he's kind of like let himself go a little bit. Okay. What do we think of this? I love these little snowflakes. Okay, so that is my stats page. So if you have read the Midnight Library, let me know what you guys think and what you rated it. I struggled okay, so, sorry, before we move to the Midnight Library, sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. Sorry about that. Who would you, or what would you guys like to chat about with the Thursday Club? What was your favorite part? What was your least favorite part? What kind of things didn't you like? I loved everything about Elizabeth and Joyce. I felt like they were just really funny and very like fun and stuff like that. I thought they were very interesting. The thing I didn't like is that there was a lot of characters and a lot of like overlapping storyline parts that I kind of got confused a little bit. So that was probably my downside. Okay, stats page done. Very cute. So the first book that I read was I listened to You're Exactly That. Yeah, I think so too. I don't really know what to say much more because I don't want to give away who the murderers were. You're glad you're not the only one that got confused. Okay, good. So I am definitely in the same boat. I did get confused. I did find that I had to like go back and like look at stuff, and then I had a friend who read it too, so we chatted about it a lot, so that kind of like made me understand a lot better. But definitely it is very confusing. So yeah, don't watch the movie if you're trying to not get confused because it's just going to make it 10 times worse. So the first book that I read this year or listened to was Skipping Christmas, like I mentioned. And I am going to do something different this year. I'm going to do a full page per book. And because I want to use more of my book. And so I have been watching Hannah Plans, and she like prints off pictures based off of the book. So I did the same thing. So I have, because this book is based off of Christmas with the Cranks, I have like her little Christmas vest. I have the Free Frosty, and then I have some characters or carolers. And I'm going to use this blue one. And I'm going to kind of put, it's still in the theme of the January like kit, but I'm just going to kind of add these other things in there and just kind of make it a little cuter. So that's kind of what I'm planning on doing. Okay, so if you read The Midnight Library, let me know if you've read it and let me know what you rated it as. I read the book. I struggled between rating it a 3 or a 4. I ended up giving it a 4 because, I don't know, I leaned more towards a 4 than a 3, but I definitely was in between the two. So let me know what you guys think. Okay, so we got the Free Frosty. This is one of my favorite Christmas movies. So I was so excited to hear that it was like a book. So I think it's really fun. You read it and you gave it 3. Awesome. I feel like I'm in the same boat. I couldn't decide between 3 and 4. I think I had a hard time giving it 3 because the message of, what's it called? The message of like mental health and stuff was so good and so like very well done. That's why I liked it. I thought there was parts that could be executed better in terms of the storyline. Like I felt like the end was very predictable. But I don't know if you could do it any other way and not have it be predictable. I found it was like a very interesting concept, and I found that it was, if you've ever dealt with severe depression or like self-harm or anything like that, it is a really, really good book for people with that kind of things. Very good topics is what I should say. Between a 3 and a 4 is good. Very thought-provoking. Yeah, I agree. Very, very thought-provoking. Very interesting concept. Very, what's the right word? I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. It made a lot of really good points and a lot of things that as a person that has dealt with a lot of these issues, felt very seen and very like heard, which was really, really nice. Again, it's really hard to like listen to somebody struggle with it so like openly, like very like written down. Because if you've struggled with it, like it's challenging and difficult. So yeah, it was very, very interesting. I think it would be very good to add to a book club because I feel like it will pose a lot of conversations, a lot of good points about it, and it'd make a lot of really good discussions. So I think adding it to your library book club would be a very good one, especially because I feel like it's a topic that like a lot of people necessarily don't always talk about, which I think it needs to be talked about. So let's just do a little synopsis about the Thursday or the Midnight Library. Sorry. So this book is about a girl named Nora Seed, and she is 35 at the time. She is deeply depressed and overwhelmed, and she believes that her whole entire life is a failure. She does attempt suicide, and upon dying, she goes to the Midnight Library. And the Midnight Library is basically a time between life and death, and you the whole place is filled with books. Every book has the title My Life on it, and it is a different, if you made any different decision in your life at any point, that would be your new life. Basically, it's saying like, if I chose to go to college or not go to college, those would be two different lives. If I would have chose in college to go to this this like education or this education, that would be two different lives. Every little choice that we make makes a new life. And so there's endless possibilities. It can even be as small as whether you decide that you're going to buy a cat or not get a cat. It can be as very small as I went to this grocery store or this grocery store. It is very like every little choice changes your future and stuff like that. So she is given the opportunity to, she looks in this book, it's called the Book of Regrets, and it will show her all of the regrets that she had in her life. Now, someone who is very depressed, she has a lot of regrets. And she, what am I trying to say? She uses those regrets to figure out what different choices she would have made to be able to choose a new life. So her first regret that she does is right before she dies, her cat dies. And so she wants a life where her cat's alive. And so she goes back to a different life, and a few minutes later, her cat isn't alive anymore, and she cannot figure out like why that would be. And they said, well, actually your cat had this big like genetic problem, and so there are no like lives where that would happen. So that regret of her not being a good cat owner goes away because she learned that that wasn't actually her fault, that the cat didn't pass away due to something that she did. It was based off of this condition. So then there are many points in her life that she has made choices of. One was when she was really younger. She was a very good swimmer, and she was on her way to the Olympics. And then she decided to quit. And so the alternative was that she was going to go see a life where she didn't quit and she became an Olympic swimmer. Another path that she did was that she was going to be a rock star. She was in a band with her brother and her brother's friend, and she played the piano but also like wrote a lot of the songs. And so it would be her life as being in a band. There was also a time where she wanted to be a glaciologist. I'm probably saying that wrong. And a scientist that works on the glaciers for weather patterns, and she goes to an expedition and does that life. There's one where there's a bunch where she's a wife or a mother. She did break off an engagement when in her life, so she went to see like what it would be like if her and that guy had gotten married. There's one where she is a philosopher. There's so many like different paths that she explores, and some like from not even like things that we talked about, like some where she is as simple as she rock climbed, one where she's doing all these like just very mundane things. And it's her she basically goes into these lives, and she's dropped in from the day that she had passed. So like say it is January 26, 2026, it would be that day that she would go into that life in. And it's her experiencing what it would be like now, and whether or not she made whether or not that was a good choice that she didn't make that choice. Like if she was to marry that guy, was that a good choice? Like what would her life look like now, and what would be the regret and stuff like that. And it's her like figuring all of that out. I really, really liked the premise of it. The only thing I felt was like it was very repetitive. Like I said, the ending was very predictable, but I don't know if you would want it to not be predictable. I don't think I would want it to not turn out different. Does that make sense? Okay, that's a lot of rambling. I would not want to look at the whole book of regrets. Yeah, no, me neither. Like, I don't know why she wanted to open that, but like, I totally see why she kept being like, no, I'm not opening that. She kept saying that to them. I am not opening up the book of regrets. It's not good. Okay. Yeah, I think so too. I think we want it to turn out the way it did, because like she ends up learning that her life isn't bad, and that everybody has like different pain, different loss, different regret, and no life is free of that. So like even making a different choice wouldn't change that. Sorry, I needed to drink something there. And it's like impossible to chase the perfect life. Like she kept trying to chase the perfect life, to have the perfect like one where she always felt happy, one where she always was accepted and everything was perfect. And she learned that it is not. Like life is just not that way. It's not perfect. It's kind of messy. It's kind of all over the place. And like it's so important to learn that, you know? And I feel like because her parents died so young, she didn't really have the people in her life to kind of tell her that life is messy and life just does happen. Like she kind of had to figure that all out on her own, which is kind of sad. I think this is crooked here. Okay. Cute. I think this is cute. I'm going to put the book cover in here. And I think this one is very cute. So I did finish Mate second, but again, I did the book club book for it in my last year's journal, so I'm not even going to do a spread for this one. I'm just going to skip it. I did the Thursday Murder Club, and then we're going to do the Midnight Library. I think this turned out so cute. I really, really like that. I'm totally excited to do this more, to kind of like commemorate it. You'll have to let me know if you guys are journaling today, what you guys are doing, if you're just listening. So yeah, that is the Midnight Library. There are a lot of complications with the Midnight Library because she, like her physical body is not holding on anymore. So there's lots of like lights flickering in the library and like tension and stuff like that. And the one part I found that was like really, really cool is when she like met somebody else that was also a person that had their own like library, but for him it was like an old video store. And he said he had met people where it was like different places, and I thought that was a really cool concept, like that it wasn't always a library for somebody else, like it was whatever was like important to you. So like maybe a mentor, because her mentor was her librarian from school, so that was the person she saw in the Midnight Library, where like his mentor could be somebody totally different, and it was just they were your perception of them. It was really cool. Pulling stickers and filling out your book journal. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so we got the Thursday Murder Club. Let's do the Midnight Library. So for next month, the books that we have are the main book club book for February is Nothing Like the Movies. That's what it's called. Nothing Like, nope, that's the second option. Back up. Sounds Like Love. Oh, I'm so sorry, you guys. The main book for February is Sounds Like Love. The optional book from the Advent is Nothing Like the Movies. Sorry, guys. I really confused you guys. Let's layer those like that together. Let's do like that. That's cute. Sounds Like Love. Yes, Sounds Like Love. It is a romance book that, from what I can tell, has a lot to do with like music and stuff like that. And so that one sounds good. Crazily enough, I picked 2 romance books for February. I should not have done that, but I did. So I apologize. So the second book is Nothing Like the Movies, also a romance book. I think I was just thinking February, but I definitely should have not done 2 of the same genre. So sorry if you don't like romance. I apologize. I was not thinking very hard when I did that. So those are going to be the 2 books. We have the April, May, and June book club books and book journaling kits coming out next release. So that'll be next week, Friday. They will be out. So for April, May, and June. And so if you are wanting to suggest a book, we do have a link on my Instagram where you can put suggestions for different books. I have a few ideas in mind. So I'm hoping to do some of those, but if you guys have suggestions, feel free to put them on to, it's like a form that you can fill out. I know, I'm sorry. I know that you don't like romance. I apologize. It's not my favorite genre either, but we do try and switch it up so that we have some different ones. I don't know where to put this deco. Okay. Let's see here. Not a big fan of romance either, but might try one out. Yeah, it's not my favorite. It It's very interesting to me because it is one of the things that people often say to me, like romance is not my favorite, but yet when I ask for suggestions, it's 90% romance. So if you don't want romance, you got to suggest other books so that I know what kind of books that you guys would be interested in. And I do try and switch it up, but it doesn't always work. So that form should be on my Instagram. I agree. Yeah, everything can't be for everybody. Everybody has their own genres, and it's also really nice to try new things. Like I personally probably wouldn't have read a few of the books that we read for book club night. Like I probably wouldn't have read what was the octopus one? Yeah, I probably wouldn't have read that one, but I loved that book. So yeah, I think it all depends, and you got to switch it up. So like we try and do mysteries, we try and do fiction, we try and do romance, we try and do, I am throwing in fantasy in this next one. So yes, beautiful creatures. Yes, sparkly bright creatures. That's what it is. That's what it is. So I try really hard to like branch out a little bit more. And do different types of books because not everything is everybody's. But I'm definitely putting a fantasy book in the next round. So just a heads up, there's definitely going to be a fantasy book going in there. Cute. Okay. You were way off. No, you weren't that bad. Remarkably Bright Creatures. You would have never read Bride or Mate, and you love them. Oh, that's awesome. I really wanted to read Bride, loved it. I did not like Mate. Honestly, not a fan of that book, but I did love Bride. Look at the color in this book, like it's perfect. So that's the Midnight Library, and the only other book that I am hoping to read is Finer Spirits, but I don't want to put it in case I don't finish it. So what do we think? We got, maybe I should add a little bit more here. It's a little boring. Just a little bit. Oh, and then this is sticking up here. And like, unfortunately, you just can't please everybody, right? Because everybody has their own tastes. So we just try and do the majority. Okay. So now that I have this done, I think what I'm going to do today is I have not entered anything into the front of my journal, so I think I'm going to work on that a little bit before I start coloring. So I feel like coloring is just going to make this table shake a lot, and I don't want that. So starting off, we have the book on my bookshelf. So let's put them in here. What books did you guys read this month? Did you read lots? Did you read a couple? So last year I did my bookshelves with books based on their genre, and this year I am doing the books based on the colors for the month. And I thought it'd be fun to kind of see like if there's like big sections of books read in a certain month. So that's what I'm doing. So we have 4 so far. Okay, there we go. Next page, we don't need to do anything with the scale. I've been keeping up with my pages read, except for here. I accidentally did the 81, but I read none, so oops. My reading goal, I can fill these ones out. Sorry, I'm missing so many. You're on your 10th book? Oh my word. Good for you. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Stacy. That's so nice. Oh, love it. Thanks, Alex. I'm so happy you're sending me recommendations. I really appreciate it because I love to hear what you guys want to read too. Okay, so we're going to color in 4 here. You guys want to hear something really silly? I filled in my reading journal, and then for Christmas, I ended up getting a ton of new Ohuhu markers, and the colors worked so much better for my reading journal like theme. And so I changed a lot of stickers just so I can use the correct colors. Like I have a lot of these like twinkle stickers. That was like the main ones that I changed because I had colored them in. I had used the black and white version of the twinkle tiny icons, and I had changed them up. And I know it's so silly, but I wanted to use certain colors, so that's what I did. I can't believe you read 10 books. That's amazing. Like, very, very impressive. Yeah, 10 is just like incredible. Like I did not have a very good reading month. And like 4 doesn't seem like very bad, but yet Skipping Christmas is like a really, really, really short book. I only like finished this book. It was basically done. I physically read these ones, so I was very proud of that. But yeah, I could not read 10. That's amazing. I love that for you. Like, honestly, that's so inspiring. Okay, genre checker. Very excited to use this for the first time. So I made these for myself, and I'm going to bring them to the shop too. They are, because this genre tracker comes with another sheet. Let me find it. Here it is. It comes with 2 pages. And it comes with these. And I realized that I don't have anything for just like fiction. And I would consider like the Skipping Christmas one just like a fiction book. There was nothing mystery, or it wasn't like a memoir or anything like that. So I am using this fiction one for Skipping Christmas. Let's see. Then we did Mate. I'm going to consider it romance. And then we had the Thursday Murder Club. We'll do mystery. And then the Midnight Library. Again, I would say fiction. Like, it's not nothing else. So I think fiction is just what I'm going to call it. Fun. I love this. I think this is so fun. Yes, 100%. These need to each have their own sheets. And I will bring those out to the shop next release for sure. Because I know for me, like some of these people are going to use romance like so fast, or you're going to use like certain genres really, really, really quickly. Like fantasy and stuff like that. So they're going to be coming for sure. And I'm going to bring out fiction because I feel like it's just not enough, but it was like a really good thing to add into the Advent to like make it simple. So I didn't read any of the 2026 books. We have our genre. I'm not going to do the yearly bracket because I haven't finished books. My reading mosaic. Let's leave that till the end and I'll come back. Can't do this. I need to print the books for these. I'm not going to do my bingo. I haven't read any more series. Didn't DNF any books. I honestly thought about DNFing a book, but I think I'm going to keep going with it. trope challenge. I guess mate would count because it's romance, but I'll look at that later on. Yeah, so I'll do the book bingos and stuff like that on my own time. But I could do the reading mosaic. Let me just go get my markers really, really quick. Oh, I'm so happy that you love the genre tracker. That's awesome. Let's see here. I have no idea what colors I picked though. Did I mark them down? I don't think so. Shoot. I think I took a picture, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this because I took a picture on my phone and I'm using my phone right now to record. So I don't know if I'll be able to do that, but I'm gonna try. So let's do genre first. I have like other fiction. So it's like the dark purpley color. And I only had these ones, so let's try. Does that look right? Not that one. Not that. And it's not like a red, right? No. I think it's this one. Okay. Does that look right? I think so. Okay, so genres at the top. So we're going to do other fiction for skipping Christmas. Then the page count. Oh, goodness me. I did not write that down. What was the star rating? I gave it 5 because it's my favorite Christmas movie and I just thought it was just fantastic. Like, it's probably not the best written book ever, but I love the movie so much that I had to give it 5 stars. So we're going to do, the rating is 5. And then I listened to it. So audio is pink. Right? I think so. All right. Lots of like dark colors. Oh, no problem. Welcome here. I'm so happy you're here. You wrote the color numbers in the boxes of genre. That is so smart. That is so smart. I took a picture of the colors of my like markers all lined up, but I have it on my phone. And what I need to do is I have a bunch of like these color trackers. We sell these in the shop, and then you would just like put what you're working on, like genre, and then you could put the colors in there, and then you could put the numbers underneath. So I need to do that with these ones because it will make it so much easier. So I just need to do that part. Okay, second book is Mate. So we have romance, this dark red. Welcome here, Sharon. I hope that you are well. Let us know if you read either of the book club books, and if you did, what did you rate them? I also don't know how many pages there are. Rating for Mate, I think I gave it a 2. I just really hated it. Let's see here. Yep. I think this is the one. And then I physically read that one. That's a really light blue, which is very different for me. I don't usually physically read books. Like usually it's an ebook. I'm so excited to see this like all done. I just think it's gonna look so fun. Third book is the Thursday Murder Club. So I'm gonna say mystery. Do I not even have mystery on here? What? True crime? Maybe? Would you call this true crime? I did. We did talk about it, but that's okay. I'm glad you love the Midnight Library. That's awesome. What did you guys rate the books if you read them? Should I do true crime? I think I should, right? Let's see here. You rated them both a 5. That's awesome. That's awesome. I rated the Thursday Murder Club a 5, and I rated the Midnight Library. I couldn't decide between a 3 or 4. I gave it a 4. Let's say I gave the Thursday Murder Club a 5. So we're going to do this. And then I did that one as an ebook. Nope, that's not right. Yeah, this is right. Ebook. The next one I read is an ebook too, so I'm going to do the same. I put the Thursday Murder Club under thriller since there wasn't a mystery. I don't know why there's not a mystery option. That is wild to me. I made this and I still don't even know. I'm going to put it under true crime. That's what I'm going to do. I can't believe I didn't have that. I like them both and need to get the next one for Thursday and the Midnight Train. Okay, so I have already put a hold on the second book for the Thursday Murder Club. Loved it. Hated the movie. I think the movie is terrible. I didn't know there was another one. It's called The Midnight Train. Okay, I'm gonna have to give that a go. Okay. Midnight Library. I'm gonna say other fiction for this one as well. I didn't write down the page numbers, so I'm gonna have to fill that in later on, but my rating was a 4. No. Trying to find the right colors. I think it might be this one. I can't really tell. There. This is gonna be so fun. I'm very excited about this spread. I think it's really, really fun. Sorry if that's loud. I am very excited for all the new trackers this year. I think there's a lot of really fun ones that we did, and I just really like them. Let's put this one over here. Sorry, guys. Okay. Cute. So, that is that. So maybe I'll color in these books here. Where did that go? Here. And then I can color in the January reads as well. All right. If you are new here, I mentioned that these are our new dashboards, and they are available in like our regular size planner, like centered vertical, and they are 2 pages like stacked together. But then we just came out with ones for A5 size, and they fit really, really nicely in like bullet journals and stuff like that. And I'm really liking having them divide my pages. I just think it does a really good job. Making it look like it belongs with the month, but then also like separates them. Like I think I'm gonna really like it like as we go down. Obviously January is the beginning, but as we go into the months, I think it'll be very, very, very nice. And I also mentioned that if you want to suggest books for April, May, and June book club books, we do have a form in our Instagram like link there, and then you can suggest books if you want to read certain books. It is a great place to do that, because if I don't know what you guys like, I can't suggest the books for you. I think I have 2 ideas of books that I want to do. And then I'm hoping to get some ideas from you guys. Okay, so I'm listening to Good Spirits right now, and it is a Christmas book, and it is based on like the Christmas Carol. And so basically the premise is this girl, she gets a visit from the ghost of Christmas past, and he's supposed to show her like the error of her ways, and like she's supposed to like change her life and da 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 da. And when he shows up, he realizes that like all her memories are good, and like she isn't a bad person like they usually are. So I'm only 30% into it, so we'll see how it goes. But it seems like a carbon copy of another book that I read, just with a Christmas twist. So I'm having like a hard time like staying engaged, because I feel like I've read this story before. And I know this book was like so popular at Christmas time as like a romance book. And I just like having a hard time, because to me, I read The Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. That's what it's called. And it was so good. And I loved that book. And I read the second one, and I really want to read the third one. But that book seemed like a carbon copy of that book. Like Finer Spirits just seemed like a replica of the book, just with a holiday twist. And so it makes me a little disappointed. Have you guys read that book? I know it was like really popular at Christmas time. It was all over my Instagram. Do you guys have any reading goals for this year? Do you guys have your reading journal all set up for the year? What are you guys up to? I set up my journal really early because we did the advent calendar, and then I had to show different items in my reading journal, so I kind of set it up really early, and I loved that. It was really, really nice. Usually I'm like really late to setting it up, so it's really helpful to set it up early. Kind of gave me the push. I have a few reading goals this year. I want to read 55 books. I want to read a bunch of series like that I'm in the middle of. I feel like I'm in a lot of series, and a lot of them are like interconnected romance series, so like it's not like pressing, but I just would like to focus on that. I'm not going to color this one in case I don't end up reading it. Your goal is 26 books. That's awesome. Good job. I love that. Your journal is set up until March. That's amazing. You have a goal of 100 books. That is incredible. Like, incredible. I hope to get there one day. I think I would have to listen to a lot more audiobooks. I feel like I listen to a lot already, but I think I would have to listen to a lot more. And I would have to read like a lot more like manga. Because I just couldn't keep up either way. I think I have just too many hobbies. So then if like reading is like your main hobby, then I could totally see you doing it. I just have too many. But I love that. Yeah, incredible. I just think it's incredible. I want to read 55, and so I'm hoping that if I do 5, that's 60. And so if I can keep on track with 5, then I should be able to make it. No problem. And then if I have like a bad month, then it'll be okay because I have a little bit of a cushion. So, trying to read 5. Currently, I'm reading a very big difference from what we're currently reading. I am reading The Chocolate Chip Cookie Murder. There's like a whole series of them, and they are like got like dessert titles on them, and they like are different mystery novels, and they have recipes in them. So I'm gonna try and make the recipes while I read the books because I just think that's super fun. All right, I think we're gonna leave this here. I didn't even realize we're like over our time. So thank you guys so much for joining. I'm just gonna quickly flip through what we did today. We got our January dashboard set up, our January reads page, our January stats. We have the page for Skipping Christmas, the Thursday Murder Club, and the Midnight Library. And then we went through and filled out some of my trackers. So I hope that you guys had fun today. Please, please, please share your journals on socials and tag me in them because I would love to see them so much. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you guys are excited. For February, our main book is Sounds Like Love, and then our optional second book is Better Than the Movies. So if you guys would like to join us for February, those are the books that you guys can read. If you don't want to read them, no problem. Just come journal with us and just hang out with us. I think it's super, super fun to get together once a month, and hope you guys have a wonderful night. So thank you guys so much, and see you guys another time. Bye, guys.